Hi, I'm a Forester here. It's a Sunday afternoon. Just got back from church and going out to eat at Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I wanted to do a video response to Cutlery Lover's video this morning that I watched about inexpensive knives. I bought an inexpensive knife recently, this Browning Model 560, and I thought, I'd do a review of it. I've really enjoyed carrying this knife. And it's funny in that the last knife that I bought was on the other end of the scale. It was a Mnandi, Chris Reeves Mnandi, and this is a very expensive knife. So this is on the high end of gentleman folders, and I think this one really defines what a gentleman folder is all about. But on the low end of the scale is this Browning Model 560. I bought it on a factory tour. I was taking a factory tour of the FN plant, and I actually bought this FNP9. And FN has a gun factory in Columbia, South Carolina. I didn't realize that they also owned Browning and Winchester, and they had a little gift store where they had knives and other items for sale that they manufacture. But I was shocked at the price of this. It was only $7, if I forgot to mention that. So I thought, well, what is the difference in value between a Chris Reeves Mnandi and a Browning Model 560 for $7? So I thought I'd go over the features of this knife in particular and maybe shed a little light on that. Jeff said on his video that the first thing that you look for in a knife is the appearance, and that's what attracted me to this knife here. I thought it was a very attractive knife. It's about the same size as that Mnandi, so it's a good gentleman folder carry size, and I thought it was very attractive. I'm going to give an ABC rating, and just to give you some a feel for how well I think the knife rates on any particular category. But appearance, I would give this a B+ or an A-. In terms of materials, I would give this definitely a C, just average. There's no markings at all on the blade. It just has the model number on one side and Browning on the other. But when I looked up information, it turns out that the blade is 440A, so really just average, nothing special there. The handle is 420 steel, and so it tends to be a little bit of a heavy knife. In weight, I saw somewhere online that it said it weighed 0.2 of a pound. I don't have any scales here, but as far as weight, it does have a little weight to it, although it's not so bad that it would keep me from carrying it. As far as ease of operation, it scores better. I can operate this one-handed. I can either flick it out, and I'm not going to cut that out. I'm going to show it just like it is. Sometimes it doesn't go out all the way, but I can flick it out with the thumb, but I have to sort of think about it. I'll do that several times so you can get a feel for it. And one thing I like about this knife is that you can open it slowly also, so you don't have to open it fast. But the way that I open it the most is it's ambidextrous, so I grab it by the thumb studs and just open it like that. And when I'm sitting around just playing with a knife, I tend to just open it like that. So on ease of operation, I would give it a B. It could be a little smoother. Something that it gets an A on is lockup. When it's actually locked in the out position, there's no movement in the blade up or down, side to side. So I'd give it an A there. Now on fit and finish, it's not going to score as highly, of course, as that Mnandi, because that's the Mnandi's strong point, that and everything else. But one thing that I would look for is in the detail work on like rounding the edge of the blade. This knife doesn't have that at all. It's just squared up. There are some rough edges, and one in particular that I notice is on this pivot pin. All the way around that pivot pin, it protrudes out a little, and it's a little sharp. It doesn't bother me, but that's just the type of detail that a Chris Reeves knife wouldn't have. You wouldn't have issues like that. Okay, something where this rates down is on centering. And I want to give you a close-up on this right here. That's about as poorly centered as you can have a knife. So I would give that a C. Whereas a Chris Reeves knife, the Mnandi, was dead on, dead center. Okay, I already mentioned weight, and it's not so heavy because it is a small gentleman's folder. Weight isn't a huge issue, but it's probably twice as heavy as the Mnandi. And the last thing that I would rate this knife on is collectability, or any of these gentleman folders. The Mnandi is a very collectible knife, but I would say the only thing unique about this particular knife, the Browning 560, is the fact that it has the FN logo cut into the handle. I don't know if I mentioned it, but FN is the parent company for Browning as well as Winchester. And so I went there to look at their guns, but they had a little gift store, and they also had knives and other things that are sold by Browning or Winchester. So that might make it a little bit more special. I haven't seen a Browning knife with that FN cut into it anywhere else. But I wanted to do this video in response to cutlery lovers. Here's two extremes in the field of gentleman folders. The Mnandi would be on the high end, and the Browning Model 560 would be on the low end at $7. I want to throw two more knives in there, both gentleman folders, and do reviews of those later. And I've already purchased the knives. One in the middle, I wanted to do a $50 knife and also a $100 knife. But here's my $50 knife. I'll do a review of this later. I'll just give you a sneak peek. It's the Boker Elegance. It's a beautiful gentleman's folder I've enjoyed carrying. I'll do a review of that soon. And then the $100 knife that I'll do a review of is a Benchmade. And this is the Benchmade 235. It's a Paul axle lock, and I just happened to get 237 out of the first 100. And I'll give you a quick look at that. It comes with a sheath, and it's a beautiful little knife. And I'm going to enjoy reviewing this and comparing it to the Chris Reeves Mnandi. But those are two knife reviews that I'll do soon, probably in the next week or so. But I want to add those two knives to these two, and then come up with some type of way to make sense of the price range from $7 to several $100s. You can look forward for that review in a couple of weeks. Talk to you later. Bye.